So Jordan Peterson tweeted this out on February 7th. Prison for child sterilizers and mutilators and all who support them. Seriously. And if the far left didn't hate Jordan Peterson enough, this is going to make them hate him even more. And I'll tell you why. Because they know he's right. Deep down, they know he's right. And I think in 10 years, maybe less, there's going to be very few people who will admit to having supported this. To supporting the creation of a pipeline from the school to the assembly line of puberty blockers, cross-sex hormones, and surgeries. What kind of surgeries? Sex change surgeries. And I'm going to show you a video here of an interview he did with a young detransitioner.
I'll never have my breast back. A reconstruction will do nothing for me, and it might make things worse, actually, because I've had some complications pop up this year with the grafts. They them up with bandages, or else they'll. I don't know what's going on with them. I tried to consult my surgeon about it, and he didn't really investigate. He gave me advice that made the complications worse, even, and actually temporarily gave me an infection. But I have to bandage up every day so that it doesn't like leak all over my clothing or bedding.
These are the people that the CBC, CNN, MSNBC, they don't want you to hear from. And you'd think as journalists, these would be the kind of stories that they'd want to uncover and inform the public about. Of course, that's if they were journalists and not activists.
Jesus. From the hormones and blockers, I've been experiencing some joint pains, mainly in my arms, my legs, and my back. And
Yep.
I still have issues with my urinary tract. I have to use the restroom pretty frequently, and I didn't even know that this was possible. This is like a pretty huge quality of life issue that I'm experiencing, and I'm just not really getting any help for it. And on top of that, I do hate to speak about it, but I'm experiencing sexual dysfunction at the age of 18. That's something that women usually go through when they're in their 40s to 50s.
So do you agree with Jordan Peterson's statement here yet? Prison for child sterilizers and mutilators and all who support them. Seriously. Well, if not, let me tell you one more thing. When she was 14, the doctor told her parents that either they could have a dead daughter or a live son. That was the horrific dilemma that was offered to them. And it was a lie. And Jordan Peterson was responding to this tweet from Matt Walsh, who was responding to this tweet from NBC News. New, there have been at least 33 instances since 2020 when people or institutions singled out by libs of TikTok later reported bomb threats or violent intimidation. Yeah, I don't think they mentioned anything about the death threats against libs of TikTok that resulted from their reporting on her. But Matt Walsh said, alternative headline, people who horrifically abused, mutilated, castrated, and sexualized children later played the victim when their behavior was exposed. But you see, NBC News supports what happened to people like this young woman, which is why you're not going to see them interview her, because they're not journalists, they're activists. Now, as for prison for child sterilizers and mutilators, I don't see that actually happening. There's too many of them. And the medical industry, the pharmaceutical industry is too powerful. What will happen is that they will start to back away from it, quietly back away from it, like as is happening in Europe right now, including in what is the West's idea of progressive heaven, Sweden. They will just quietly back away from it and it will go away, leaving behind untold human wreckage and a hell of a lot of lawsuits. Anyway, that's all I got to say about that. Please like, share, subscribe. Sharing really helps me out. I thank you for that. I will see you next time.